You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Well, hello there and welcome to this 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies. We're here at the beautiful Buttonveer Sports Complex right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And we've had a little bit of a delayed start here. We'll fill you in on that. 17 overs apiece is this match after the wicket was just a little wet this morning. Atlanta Fire, they won the toss. They elected to bowl first. And we see Cornet Dry started things off, and looks like he'll be starting things off to John Campbell. Aman Patel here in the commentary box, joined by Faisal Shah. Once again, we had a thriller of a game yesterday, and this one poised to be a similar one. You see the first runs come on the board for the Morrisville Raptors.
Good morning, Aman. Good morning, all. It's a glorious morning here in Rydell, just outside Atlanta, and we're packed in for some terrific action on this weekend, and we had a great start last night. What a game. We had it all. Wickets, catches, rain, thunder, and a close finish. If that was anything to go by, we have a cracker of a day ahead of us. Double header.
Yeah, cracker of a day indeed. And again, we talked about yesterday how the Morrisville Raptors and the Atlanta Lightning had to figure things out after a couple big changes. The Atlanta Fire will have to do something similar with the ball in hand. Might not be a lot of big changes for them, but a new man behind the stumps. Hanchard Hamilton comes in as Jamar Hamilton is left for the CPL. And then with the bat in hand, no Aaron Jones, no Steven Taylor for them this season. So going to be an interesting conversation to see what they have with the bat. It's Emilio Alponzo leading the side today. Cornet Dry is doing what he's done every year, so he's just started off very strong.
Yeah, he's a formidable new ball bowler, although the conditions are such. Delayed start that you mentioned was because of the rain yesterday and overnight. Slight damp outfield and a damp pitch. Still not perfectly dry, but good enough to play. That's what the umpires think.
Slipping now in place for Cornet Dry. Straight up, should be taken. Just in front. Did really well to give himself an opportunity to get there. But this is the nature of this surface, and very nearly cost the Raptors captain his wicket.
That's Rishi Pandey, who's a very, very good fielder. It was hung in the air for a long, long time. Look at that final lunge. He got the outstretched hand out. The ball hit his palm, but he couldn't catch it. Half a chance, but a terrific effort in the field, and already the wicket is playing the tricks.
Yeah, right there once again. You just see it took a while to get to Trevin Griffith off the hand of Cornet Dry. A good first over for the Atlanta Fire. Just 2 runs have come off it so far, and again, Cornet Dry has been bowling really well, bowling into the wicket. We said that was key yesterday. Seems to be the key today.
Yeah, I just had a chat with him before the start of the game, and he's very experienced. He was talking about the conditions, and looks like he's read them perfectly, and the execution is good so far.
Tickled into the leg side, and quick throw, direct hits, but John Campbell well home in the end. Everything happening in the first over. It's 3 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
We'll bring the spinner on. They acquired Zia Shazad, really quality leg spinner. Played for the Texas Super Kings in Major League Cricket. Got his first game this season. But they've opted for left arm seam here, the Atlanta Fire.
Abdullah, left arm over the wicket to left-handed Griffith. You're talking about Atlanta Fire roster for this season. Henchard Hamilton is making a comeback into Atlanta Fire. He played for them in 2022, then moved over to the Lightning last year. And Stephen Taylor is still part of the roster, but he's returned home unfit from national duty.
Goes short straight away. Maybe just a warm-up delivery there. He's going to want to pitch it up a little bit more. But yeah, for this Atlanta Fire team, they've been really consistent with the individuals they've had, and they've had just a couple of stars come in or out. You would think about the big, Rakeem Cornwall coming in for that 2022 season, but they've kept Aaron Jones and Stephen Taylor. This is their first year without either of them. So there's a big void up top the order, the captaincy as well. See how Mila Ponzo goes about business, and they've also brought back Ricardo Powell as the coach for the Atlanta Fire, so see what he can bring to the team. No run there, and again, for the audience who maybe didn't watch the game yesterday, yeah, it feels like the Raptors don't have a lot of intent with their stroke making, but they don't need the fields to score in the 160s. If you can get yourself to 120, that's more than defendable we saw yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the game to assess the conditions. Once again, like I said, the pitch is starting out pretty damp, not ideal for batting. That's why Aponso won the toss and put the Raptors in.
Short again, and Trevon Griffith pulled out the shot, given wide in the end of it. But you can see a little bit of bounce on this wicket. Maybe you hadn't seen it in yesterday's game.
Yeah, it's not expected the length that Abdullah is bowling, but he has surprised the batters. Probably the batters didn't expect him to bowl that length. He's gotten away with the first bouncer. This one was called wide, probably for line, but he has put it out in the minds of Trevon Griffith.
Short again. This one stays inside the wide line and pulling out those shots. And for the Atlanta Fire, we mentioned those changes. No Jeremy Gordon this season, not available for the team, and so they're going to look for that second pacer, and they've looked at Quadri, and it seems like they are okay and accepting with what he is. And Trevon Griffith just wants to have a word with something. He's unhappy with how something is playing currently.
Yeah, about the pitch, definitely, because he's not happy the way the ball is responding off the pitch. There's a big congregation in the middle where those balls from Abdullah had pitched.
Yeah, you see that huddle there, and there's that question on that side of the wicket. This is the strip to the right of what we played yesterday from our vantage point, and we don't have a great look at it for you. This might be the best thing we have, but you can see there's plenty of grass over to the right of that surface, and that grass this morning, as you mentioned, very damp. And maybe just because of that, this area where Quadri would be bowling in that area, you can see just trying to feel maybe a little soft, and that's what Trevon Griffith is complaining about.
Yeah, it's pretty soft, and also you see the grass to the right where all the players are walking. That patch of grass actually runs towards the fourth off-stump line if the bowling were to be from the far end. Abdullah is bowling from the combox end, so it won't come into play as much. But where Kone was bowling, it's back of a length and into the four stump, and otherwise a pretty barren pitch and damp as well. We see a lot of activity in the background. You may see that probably the curator is moving in, or the umpires. I'm not sure what's happening. I think the umpires wants to get on with it, but players are having a look from both sides. See both the batters and almost all of Atlanta Fire, barring one player, they are in that big huddle.
Yeah, you saw the umpire take Trevon Griffith aside now, and maybe just saying, look, everyone agreed to play this game. We got a delayed start. We're on now. We'll show you the delivery that was previous. The last one we saw digs into the ground, and again, I think I think it hit around that grassy area, and I think just a touch soft there, and that's what he's complaining about. You can see hands all over the spot where that ball pitched. Curator's on the field now, and this is an interesting thing for me because you had the decision. You could have still delayed the game. You could have said, okay, we might lose a couple more overs, but we're going to delay the game. We already lost 3, and right now I'm just not sure why we're stopping it just 2 overs in.
Yes, pretty strange. As I said, when we walked down in the middle, just before the toss, after the inspection was made, and it still looked pretty damp. Amila is in conversation with Griffiths, both the skippers. And it does not look good, I'm afraid. What can we do? Allow the sunshine? Because it's glorious sunshine here. Probably, you're right, you could have allowed another 15 minutes for it to dry up a little bit more.
Yeah, just, again, knowing the forecast, knowing that we were at least going to get a couple of hours of sunshine, rain not forecast until around 4 o'clock today, and that too at just 30%. Yes, we do have that second game happening at 2, but you're losing overs as it is. You can get yourself maybe a thrilling 15-over contest. And I'm just unsure what you can do now on this surface. Are they going to go and look to add in some sand and some dirt? I don't know what they could possibly do to fill maybe the holes that are being left on there. If the wicket is soft, the wicket is soft, and the only thing you can let happen is bake it. And now you've had an over and a half of play, and it just would feel weird to now just come off. Just again, 9 balls into this game.
And also generally, once the game has started, you can't do anything to it, basically. That would be deemed as unfair.
Yeah.
So the only thing that umpires can do, they can just take a little break and just say that we'll inspect things in about 15 minutes. But I don't know if what's going on here, because the curator, the owner of the ground, they're all in the middle. Clearly, Griffith was really quick. He didn't want to hang around for too long before he complained, because he did it right away. Probably did the right thing for the sake of the game, because we all want a fair contest. This is minor league cricket. This is high quality, high octane cricket. A lot at stake for all these players as well. Their careers might depend on it. So fair conditions, good conditions is their right. They've earned that right by being on that stage.
Yeah, and plenty of action happening around minor league cricket as well. Not just here in Atlanta, but if we move over to the east, New Jersey Stallions, they're in the midst of their first innings against the Manhattan Yorkers, and Jesse Singh is on his way to be the highest scorer in that game. Oh, I just jinxed him. Literally just jinxed him. LBW, as I'm starting to call him out. He was 32 off 23, and then Manoj Achadia gets him LBW. They're taking on the Manhattan Yorkers in what should be a thrilling contest. So check out all the games on the MLC Network. Plenty of action around the country.
Yeah, commentators curse live. Commentators curse remote.
Yeah, I might get a call from Jesse Singh after that one.
Yeah, and the commentators who were calling that game would be thinking, what happened? We didn't jinx him. They don't know that Aman was on it. Well, we are going off, it looks like it, here at the Paramveer Sports Complex. And that will change the equation. Remember, we were already down to 17 overs aside. There will be further delay. Only 9 balls, 9 legitimate balls into the game. We'll be taking yet another break. Stay tuned with us. There's plenty more action coming, and as soon as we know the latest updates, we'll be back with a live action.
Well, after all that, we are back here at the Bottom Veers Sports Complex with ball number 4 of the second over. We'll fill you in as it continues. Ball staying low, and a lot of look at the wicket and the surface. Players are coming off, and speaking of how it was wet, it did rain yesterday and very dewy early this morning. I actually had to roll my pant legs up to make sure grass wasn't getting on it, and a lot of our shoes and socks have been soaked through, so a lot of dew here in the Georgia humidity, which means those covers probably were just sitting under that water a little bit too long, but we're here, we're back. We've got 2 deliveries left in the second over. I'll be wide, and I'm interested to see what the plans are now from the Raptors batters. How they look to address these situations. Faisal Shah is coming back here as we speak. He had to just, he's spending some time in the car. It's hot here in Georgia, but he'll be back in a second here. It's Patel in Georgia. This one, 2 sounds on it. Was up straight away, Abdullah Quadri, and a good over this. A great way to start back up so far. Went full, went straight, and came off the inside half of the bat for Trevin Griffith. But this is a good find for the Atlanta Fire. Again, needed to find a replacement to Jeremy Gordon, and they've done so quite brilliantly with the left-hander, as Faisal Shah has joined me. We're back. We're playing cricket, Faisal.
Finally, right? It's been such a beautiful day, and having started the game, it felt bizarre that we had to remain off for so long.
And this one, just a quick single taken. All happening. Oh, throw could have been real close. An eventful second over that's lasted over 2 or 3 hours. So there you go. 2 overs gone. It's 6 without loss. First signs of spin and first sign of real aggression for Trevin Griffith, and we've just got official confirmation. 8 overs aside here, so power play is done. And now for the Raptors, it's all right. You came into bat and you thought you had 20 overs to work with. Now you only have the 6 to go. Find ways to get your singles into the gap on the offside. It'll run, fielder out in the deep, and they'll come back for 2 quite comfortably. But good signs for the Raptors as Trevin Griffith gets going with the bat.
Good signs indeed, but keep an eye out for Patel. His left arm wrist spin. He's made good names coming off of a very good stint in Cayman Island in the Max 60 event.
Looks for the reverse, and this time he's paid the price. He looked for that shot consistently yesterday. He looked for it once again today. Probably just got a little bit too full on him. Looked like it slid underneath the bat. And Griffith, a painstaking stay in the middle. He departs.
Immediate impact from Patel. I said he's coming off of good run of form, and he was right on the money. Big wicket, Trevon Griffith. He had no other options as the innings has been reduced to just 8 with 2 already gone. He walks back, and the Raptors are 8 for 1.
New man into the middle. It's Christopher Barnwell, who came a little bit later than this yesterday, but again, this game has since been changed to an 8-over match, and they're looking for the lusty blows from the big man. But he had a short stay. If you remember yesterday watching that game, it was undone. Outside edge through to the keeper and wasn't willing to walk until the umpire lifted his finger, and did so very late on that call. But we'll see what Barnwell has in store. Again, he's sent up now to score runs. They're not looking to consolidate, the Raptors. They're looking to find those boundaries. Outside edge. It's racing towards that third-man boundary. Should hold up at will. Get off the mark straight away, but a nervy start for Barnwell.
Looks like it was the wrong one, the other one. Turning away from Barnwell, he went for the big swipe. Not much time with wickets in the huts. He's going to be overs.
This time he connects, and connects beautifully. Faisal, you said the earlier one was the googly. This time he's picked it, came the one coming back into him, and he hit it beautifully for 6.
Right off the meat of the bat, action-packed innings because it's only reduced to 8 overs. Time running out. Barnwell has had a look in, just the one delivery, and the second one is out of the park.
Yeah, that's why they sent him here. They know he can do this. If you're Patel, bring that length back. This one's skied. Cries of catch it. It'll land safely and spin away. They could push for 2 and will. It's good running from Barnwell.
Yeah, not happy with that. But once again, credit to Patel. He's looking to throw the ball up. Challenge Barnwell to go big. 12 off the over. 3 gone, 18 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, spin to continue here, Faisal. It's going to be Zia Shahzad, the new man for the Lightning. He's made the trek all the way over from the Golden State Grizzlies to be down in the south, and he's going to like this wicket to bowl on early.
Yeah, and the equation is, it may seem that the maximum that one bowler can bowl is 2 overs, and 3 of them can do that. They'll make 6, and the remaining 2 overs shared by 2 bowlers. So that's the thing, and we'll have to see what option Fire has.
Short and pulled straight back. Will just be 1. Captain Milo Ponzo cleans it up, and while that might be short on most surfaces, I don't think that's a bad option, a bad area to bowl for Zia Shahzad here.
Exactly, because of the nature of the pitch. Better to err on the shorter side, which is unheard of, but then again, the shorter nature of the game. Like Patel found out when he threw the ball and it was in the arc for Barnwell, he scored a maximum. Shahzad starts off with a skiddy short one.
Short, quick, and just flashed away to third man. It's good work, actually. This could be overthrows. Oh, not paying attention. John Campbell just got caught preparing himself for the next ball. Gotta be in the game, especially with 8 overs. You have to take every run for what you can get. You could have turned that 1 into 2 quite easily.
Yeah, he turned his action back to the action and couldn't realize that the throw had missed Shahzad and there was no one in the ring on the onside. This is interesting. 2 wrist spinners bowling and an 8-over game.
Flight it up. Cries of catch it. Cornet dry out there. A lot of work to do. And does it brilliantly. That is a terrific catch. We've seen incredible boundary work so far this weekend, and we see it once again this time. It's the big South African. It's Cornet dry.
Wow, what a sensational take yet again. Corner dry, lined it up as soon as he saw it coming his way. This will give you an excellent picture. Look at the athleticism, the nimble feet, and then the composure. This is top drawer stuff from the big, tall South African all-rounder. And Atlanta Fire breaks through yet again. Campbell's gone for 2. The Raptors 20 for 2.
Well, spectacular catches indeed we've seen so far at the Buttonveer Sports Complex in this minor league championship presented by Yash Technologies. And we talk about the spinner and Zia Shahzad moving over. It's Raj Anand now, the spinner for the Raptors, who's moved over to this team. He had a decent stay in the middle with the bat yesterday, but different role needed. He's got to tap into the big power that he has.
Here within the blink of an eye, we're just 3 deliveries short of the halfway stage, so not much time. And the wickets in the shed, 8 of them still, so I don't think he's going to play like he did yesterday. Although on this pitch, coming out and hitting out straight away, probably not the easiest thing.
Full hit straight back. A lot of work to do. It'll just hold up in the outfield and just get one. And Faisal, you mentioned not being able to sit there and take a look. You have to go going straight away. I'm curious to know what these teams are looking at target-wise because, like you said, it's not an easy wicket to bat on. You need to give yourself time to get in, and boundaries are hard to come by.
The funny thing is, with so many wickets and so few overs, I still think they would be looking to get up to 80, at least 10 and over.
Well, that's the mindset and the intent so far. We've seen a couple big swipes as they'll run one off a bye. But you can see it straight away. Barnwell and Anand looking to hit straight back down the ground.
Yeah, and that's where they got the gun fielders as well. Kone Dry is at long on, and Amila Ponso with the bullet arm and very quick across the turf. He's at long on now for the left-hander. Won't be surprised if these two come into action again.
Just kept away from the outside edge of Rajanan. A good over for Zia Shahzad as he welcomes himself into the Southern Conference. 4 overs gone, 22 for 2.
$22 for 2. Talking about a good target in 8 overs. I just mentioned 80, but with just 4 overs to go, difficult conditions, good bowling, it can be very tough. Really, I'm just wondering after you asked me, Aman, that I'm not sure basically what would they be happy with or what Fire will be happy chasing. Patel continues. Flatter trajectory within the stumps. Barnwell is the key, I think. He's the most experienced batter, probably in both sides. He needs to be there right till the end for the Raptors. That turns the other way.
Yeah.
Terrific delivery.
Yeah, he's shown them why so far. Vansh Patel, why he had so much success down in the West Indies, and what he's doing here so far. He's using the length well and bowling those variations. Haven't been able to pick them yet, Barnwell.
Once again into the pitch, and the batters just cannot hit through the line. And also with the variations, the ball turning both ways, it doesn't make it easy. Superb over so far from Patel. And one thing is that he's not giving a lot of time to Barnwell to think about, because he's rushing through his deliveries. Just a single of the 4th delivery.
Yeah, and I think the length is also very key. You saw Barnwell looking to hit straight down the ground. The big 6 he hit was one that was pitched up. So he's made that adjustment very quickly, and that's a sign of a good cricketer, right? You're able to make those adjustments, you're able to see what you did wrong and quickly come back into it. And now have another challenge bowling to the left-hander, probably what he prefers doing, moving it away from that left-hander.
Well, he can spin it both ways, so let's see if he does the other one to the left-hander as well, make him hit against the spin. And that's what exactly he does. Henchard Hamilton in action. Rajnanan was nowhere near that delivery, and Patel has really bamboozled him. This has been a terrific over.
Yeah, and again, the length, Rajnanan knows is going to be on a length. He's come down the track, but again, with the area he's in, it's hard for the batter to get themselves to the line and to the pitch of that delivery. So you're just playing a guessing game at that point. Which way is the ball going to turn? And Vansh Patel, he's proven too good so far today. Departing is Rajnanan, unable to really trouble the scores. Raptors 23 for 3.
It was the Raptors who didn't like the conditions and objected to the wet and damp conditions when they walked off after just 9 deliveries. And then they were giving the unenviable task of a bat 6.3 overs to get to a total in difficult conditions. And so far it has been a struggle for them. Just the 1 run of this over so far from Patel.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant over. And Ryan Wiggins comes into bat. If you remember yesterday, had a quick fire, quote unquote, 30 runs. He was able to score him just off 16 or 17 deliveries, and I might not see much of normal wickets. This wicket, tough to bat on.
Again, that shot to length is not easy to time and put a lot of power behind it. A slight fumble will allow for the second run. Just 3 of the over and a wicket for Patel. 5 done, 25 for 3, the Raptors. Continuing with the wrist spin, Zia Shahzad is going to bowl his second over, so Ponso will have 2 overs left. You'd have to make a choice, probably 2 new bowlers bowling the remaining 2 overs, the last 2 overs of the innings.
Yeah, but I like the move to bring in Zia Shahzad here. Again, you're going for the kill, but he was very economical in that over. He pulled the length back. He's very experienced. This is a good option to have, and it sets up the last 2 to now. The Raptors have to swing big. And you can give yourself the ball, you can give some other folks the ball and reap the reward.
Henchard Hamilton has missed that one, and it will run away downhill. A bit of an awkward slide there, but was able to prevent the boundary. Have to wait for the umpire's signal. Yep, buys indeed. Hamilton generally very tidy.
Yeah, not easy to bat, but not easy to keep on these surfaces either. If it gets past the bat, there's always that chance of getting by the keeper because of how much it is turning and just that awkward bit of bounce that we're seeing being extracted on the surface. Again, very damp this morning, so there is that 2-pace nature.
Into the block hole almost. Barnwell couldn't get underneath it.
Yeah, gets away with it. I think Zia Shahzad, he's going to look back at his spell and say that's not the ball he wants to bowl. Needs to pull the length back. Yes, it only went for a dot, but that's delivery that could go for 6.
Yep, that's the length Aman likes. And that's the length that the fielding sides have liked throughout the day and a half of cricket we've seen.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Raptors as well, you mentioned 80 in those 8 overs. Okay, cool, 80's off the table. Can you manage your way up to 40? Can you get to 50, I think is what you're looking at right now. And how do you do that? You give yourself a platform right now. Get your 1s, 2s, minimize those dot balls, and then if the ball is full, that's when you swing big. Other than that, tick it in the gap, get 1 or 2. It's tough to score runs on this wicket.
Zia Shahzad tempting the batter, and we will pay the price. That is a maximum and a much needed one. Wiggins once again back into the action.
Yeah, this is where Ryan Wiggins was so successful yesterday and where the batters have been successful. Ball flighted, ball pitched up, and really just fell straight into the arc. And again, on a wicket that's hard to score on, use it. That's right in the slot, and that's 6 any day of the week.
Another one. Corner drive will be just a mere spectator. That's gone all the way. Back-to-back sixes. And a good over from Zia Shahzad has been ruined by those two big blows.
2 full again. Again, it's that same length. He just tried to cramp Ryan Wiggins for room this time, but it's just in the hitting arc. He's just giving it to Ryan Wiggins right now. Pull the length back. But Ryan Wiggins, he's seen the fuller ones. He's taking advantage.
Ryan Wiggins has been the batter of the week so far in these difficult conditions. He was the match winner yesterday and playing a very, very important cameo here. 6 done. Raptors 41 for 3. I guess from here. Skipper Aponso, generally we see him with the new ball, although the ball is only 6 overs old, but we're at the back end of the 8 over innings for the Raptors.
And for Emil Aponso here, he darts it in quick. It's the type of condition that he would like, but again, the length is going to be so key. Now, he might get away with being a little bit fuller just because he's so quick, it's hard to get the bat under the ball. But if he stays on a length, he's taking wickets galore in minor league cricket. So he got called up to Major League Cricket this past season. He's got to be there. If he's there, he's going to be successful.
Oh, the ball hasn't gone far, but the bat has.
I was unsure of what I just saw. I thought the ball might have been flying with it. That was swung hard by Christopher Barnwell. He saw Ryan Wiggins hit a couple of sixes, and he said, no, I want a couple of my own. Very humid here in Atlanta. I'm sweating just sitting here. When you're in the sun, those gloves are going to get wet. You can see it straight away, calling for a new set of gloves, and probably the best interest for all the players out there in the field.
That was hilarious. That's how hard Barnwell was trying to swing at it. Another dart from Amila. Just goes under the bat. Or should I say under the bat? Because the bat was nowhere near.
I think no matter where he pitched, it was going under the bat there.
It'll be interesting if the bat flew before the ball even arrived. Barnwell is running hard. It's into the gap. And Wiggin is quite quick as well. Comes back for the second. Yeah, I was intrigued to see if the bat went in the air before the ball even arrived. That'll be an interesting replay.
No, ball got there first, so you can give Christopher Barnwell the credit, but I think it would have been more real interesting had he connected and then lost the bat. We've been keen to see which one traveled further, the ball or the bat.
Knocked him over. This is Emil Aponso's strength, full and straight and very quick. Under the bat of Barnwell, the big man departs without making much of an impact.
This is 56th wicket now in minor league cricket, Emil Aponso, and again, we're talking about lengths, but the reason why he gets away with being really full on this occasion, it was quick. He darted it in, didn't give any time for Barnwell to play that big swing, and after losing his bat, he loses the wicket just for 15 runs. The Raptors now 44 for 4.
Wijeratne is in the middle. Under difficult conditions, he also played a handy knock yesterday in the victory for Raptors. I'm going to throw this to Aman after this delivery, is that how much he'd be happy chasing in 8 overs. At the moment, 44 for 4 with 8 deliveries to go.
Yeah, for me, Faisal, I think you're looking around 60. I think you can get to 60. You'll feel pretty good about it because it does put the pressure on the batters to find those boundaries every couple of overs.
Beautifully struck. In to out. No fielders in that direction. That is a supreme strike from Wijeratne first up.
Well, this is why he's played cricket for Canada and why he was so good yesterday. Emil Alfonso again, though, he's gotten away with being full because he's quick. This time he's pushed it outside the off stump, and that's why he faltered, because he strayed away from that line. He gave width, and with that sweeper very straight, it was always going to run into the boundary. And Wijeratne, he opens his account with that 4. And that's a brilliant way. And again, the Raptors trying to claw to that 60 region as sweeper comes into place.
Well, Emil Alfonso does that every so often. And Wijeratne, who moved away from his stumps on the previous delivery, that's the boundary ball, and the last delivery was trying to walk right across his stumps. The funky dink wouldn't work. Keep it simple, young man. Alfonso has the last laugh with that dot. 7 gone. Raptors 48 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Describe this, Aman, for us.
Well, third man is inside the ring. He's trying to use the pace, but very lucky Emil Alfonso is outside the off stump. It's, again, innovative. It's an idea, but you just hit the 4. Go get your 1. Go get your 2. Didn't really need that stroke, but we're into the final over. Questions about who could bowl it. It's Cornet Dry who's going to get the opportunity to do so. So pace on now for these two batters.
Pace on indeed. Generally, Cornet Dry has struggled in the death part of the innings. He's very formidable with the new ball in the middle part. But his execution of Yorkers haven't been spot on all the time. But probably this is the wicket where he doesn't even need to try that.
Yeah, he's really developed those slower deliveries and those cutters in the past couple of years. I think really since he's got into the Major League setup is when I've seen him really hit those. And I think on this surface, if he can just channel that, roll his fingers over the ball, he's going to make it really tough for Ryan Wiggins and Wijeratne.
That's the slow delivery, and it's gone right up in the air. Fielder getting underneath it. He's called for it. Misjudged it horribly.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was his ball to go get. I think Emil Alfonso would have been able to get there. It's Rajdeep Darbar who's there inside the circle, and they just started swirling away on him. The slower one came out. It's very well placed, slower delivery. And Emil Alfonso, I think, could have gotten there, but Darbar called him off, and again, just in no position to make that catch.
Into the pitch. That is terrific from Cornet Dry.
Yeah, that's the length. That's absolutely the length. From there, we haven't seen a lot of shots been played, and when he can put the cutters on it as well. Again, this is the part of the game where I think Cornet Dry has gotten better and better and better with each passing year of minor league cricket. Year 1, it was very much seam up, let the ball do the talking when it swings, and then once it got older, maybe a little bit of struggles. But he's since evolved his part of his game that way, and he's been really good for the LA Knight Riders in Major League.
Another terrific slow delivery. That is great execution. We all know that he has the skills, but to execute them under pressure when it matters the most.
It's always a tough task, right? There's the preparation, then there's the execution, and that's what makes great cricketers and okay cricketers, and he's executing with the best of them right now. And he's also understood Ryan Wiggins is looking to take it through long on and mid-wicket, so he's just slowing it down and dared him to create his own power.
It's again difficult to line up that length. Good effort in the deep. Splendid sprawling work. Looks like it's Qadri. Henchard Hamilton has got something, and he's got the decision in his favor. Was it Ryan Wiggins was probably dozing off, and Henchard Hamilton was quick to seize the opportunity.
Good from the fire on all accounts. It was a good length. It was pace on this time from Cornet Drive, but out in the deep was really exceptional. Did really well to keep the ball inside the rope, and then the throw that came in was really sharp. Take a look at this. Again, does well there, and then that throw from Zia Shahzad. And yeah, Ryan Wiggins, I think, was just caught ball watching. Expected the throw at the other end and never looked like he got his bat down. Very aware Hanchard Hamilton. Might not be Jamar Hamilton, but Hanchard, he's doing the job with the gloves.
4 down now for 50 Morrisville with just 2 deliveries to go. Sanjay Stanley is the new man in. He's setting up for that big hit, but the ball never arrived. Once again, terrific delivery from Cornet Drive into the pitch and also within the stumps. No room to work with either.
Yeah, and he did the job well there. Sanjay Stanley also negotiated it. He committed to the shot, but didn't force it, right? He saw it was slower and just waited on it, pushed into the gap, and Wijaratne, who has a boundary to his name, who batted well yesterday, turned over the strike. But for the Raptors, these 2 batters combined have played 3 deliveries. Not ideal going into the last delivery of the innings, but have to imagine some type of innovative stroke here from Wijaratne.
Third is up in the ring, so is fine leg. The bat has gone flying again. This time the ball has as well, but it will find the fielder. Zia Shahzad, safe as houses in the deep. And Atlanta Fire has closed that out, that innings out magnificently. Great execution of skill from Cornet Dry and restricted the Raptors a wicket off the final delivery.
Slowed it down again. Bat came out of the hands again. And again, it's just found Zia Shahzad out there in the deep. Really clinical from the Fire. I think a couple of falters, but that last over, brilliant. Only there with a couple of runs and taking 2 wickets on that as well. So the Morrisville Raptors, they only get 52.
Clinical performance, and after a long hold up in play after 9 deliveries, Raptors came back and closed the innings out for 52 in their 8 overs. It's not going to be a big break. It's going to be a very quick turnaround, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be back with the live actions within a few minutes. Welcome back to Paramveer Sports Complex. We are all in readiness for the run chase. The target is 53 for the Atlanta Fire to open their account in this year's minor league championship. Yes, Technology minor league championship this year, and we're already into the second day of action here at the Paramveer. We had a close encounter yesterday where Raptors were chasing. They will have to do the job this time around whilst the ball in hand. Defending 52 is not going to be an easy job, as I welcome alongside me Aman Patel.
Yeah, Faisal here for the second innings, and like you mentioned, 53, not a lot of runs on the board, but again, on this wicket, it's tricky, and we saw the Raptors spinners operate really well. You talk about Raj Danan, you talk about Aditya Gupta, what they did with the ball. So you expect you're going to see 2 overs of each of them. And then where do you feel the rest of the 6? Barnwell bowled pretty well yesterday, and I think I would go back to him with his cutters. So there's 2 more, and you have to find 2 more somewhere. Is it going to be Keon Joseph, who was streaky at times, but Dalla performed better when he came around the wicket rather? So where do they go with the ball? I think that's the big questions for me. And then for the Fire, it's new opening pairs, right? It's new individuals batting together. No more Stephen Taylor up top of the order for them. No more Aaron Jones at the 1-down position. They've got to find new ways to score, find new individuals to score with, and they've gone to Hanchard Hamilton and Rajdeep Dadabar. So 2 new acquisitions opening the batting.
Exactly, although like I mentioned, Hanchard Hamilton has been here before. And also just to update you about the conditions, the sun has been beating down. It's a bit cloudy right now, but the roller was on the strip during the break. A good little 4-5 minutes roll up, I think would have eased up conditions for the batters, and it won't be as difficult for the Atlanta Fire as it was for the Raptors. And also they had an over and a half chopped off because of the break that they had to go off earlier. Hamilton down on one knee. He smashed the first ball for a boundary. This is a great start, and Campbell starts off with a long hop, pays the price.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued as to why John Campbell comes in to bowl the first over. I think Rajan bowled well to the lefties. I know the matchups, but I just feel that you have to get underway and get started quickly. We saw the Lightning go to their premier bowler straight away, and I think Rajanan could have been used here. I know they're trying to save him for the right-hander, but I don't know. It's a bold move here. Hanchard Hamilton, though, if it won the few balls, you can hit off the length.
That's his strength again, off the back foot, really quick on his feet, picking up the length and finding the gap. This is a great start, and already notice the ball coming onto the bat a little better.
Yeah, the sun's been baking on this wicket. You mentioned it earlier. And again, there's not really a lot of shots we've seen on a length be hit for runs, but you can see Hanchard Hamilton back so quickly, and it came off the bat incredibly well.
He's got terrific hand speed as well. Force Campbell to bowl wide, 2 wide for Conrad Rogers. Another run. This has been a terrific start for the Fire. Must have eased any nerves if there were any at all. Once again staying low on that back foot. Pierce the field, running downhill. Probably will just stop inside the fence as Rajanan gives the chase. He should be at the bowling crease, Aman Patel.
Yeah, I agree. I think, again, I know you're starting with the lefty and you don't want the ball spinning back in to the left-hander, but he bowled exceptionally well yesterday. He knows what he's doing on the surface. Get your strike bowler in, get him in early, and let pressure build. Now, if Raj comes in the next over, not a lot of pressure to score off it.
Once again, down on one knee, this time behind square. Hanchard Hamilton is toying with the field, and this experiment of bowling John Campbell has really backfired spectacularly.
We saw earlier in the over, he motioned to Aditya Badala, who's stationed at deep mid-wicket, to get closer to that long-on area. This time, Hanchard Hamilton just waited on it. He's gotten across early and just waited on it and helped it on its way. Straying in his line, I think, is the biggest issue here for John Campbell. He's been consistently on middle and leg stump, but because of the movement from Hamilton, it's just been far too easy to help behind square.
Terrific bat speed as well. Lightning hands he's got, generating all that power that we've found so difficult off the back foot in our day and a half so far. Campbell once again forced to bowl wide, concedes another extra. Again, it's not a clean connection. It may just carry it, and it has indeed. Hamilton is brief flurry has come to an end. And a much needed wicket there. John Campbell has the last laugh. But is it already too late? Only time will tell.
Yeah, one too many there from Hanchard Hamilton. Again, he's been connecting well, but was there a need to play this shot? This one was just a little bit quicker, I think, on to Hanchard. It jumped up a little bit off the wicket as well. And a very well judged catch by Aditya Badala in the end. Came low to him and took it with such ease. You say, is it over? Or is enough damage been done? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. 14 runs for Hanchard Hamilton as he departs, 16 for 1.
Paul Palmer, the new man in. Just helped it on his way. How easy was that? He had all the time in the world. He didn't rush into his stroke. A single to finish off Campbell's over. A wicket, but 17 off of it. 17 for 1, the Fire. Sun is out here at the Paramveer Sports Complex. Atlanta Fire has made a flying start, 17 in the first over, chasing just 53. Also, Aman Patel, this could be crucial because we've seen these games, these group situations could be very, very tight. Get ahead in the net run rate, get a favorable draw going forward. Probably Fire the kind of start they've got. I know it's maybe still too early, but they may be thinking along those lines too.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with the shortened season, just 8 games for each team, that net run rate is going to play a factor when you're talking about qualifying. You're almost sure of it.
Rajnanan into the attack. They're running hard. There was on. I think the second run was on, but said no.
Yeah, but you like the intent there, right? They ran that first one hard. They looked for it. They decided no in the end. That can be questioned, but the effort was there. For me now, if you're the Morrisville Raptors, you look at this. All right, 18 runs or 17 runs before this ball, given up already. But you have 2 new batters to the crease. Darbar hasn't played the delivery yet, so you have an opportunity to start this game from scratch.
Absolutely. Excellent work. That's expected of Trevon Griffith. That's how brilliant he is. Saves a couple of runs for his team.
Yeah, that's what he does so well. Holds himself to such a high standard. Can expect more of those.
This time it's gone past him. Running away to that boundary. Sanjay Stanley gets to the ball. A couple of runs. The ball is coming on a bit better, Aman Patel.
Yeah, haven't seen this kind of help to the batters all weekend long. And maybe that little bit of sun that we've got, let it bake under it, has just really progressed this wicket. And if this is signs to come for this second game, it should be a thriller.
You're talking about the group situation. We will have a chance to have our first look on Baltimore Royals. This is their debut season. Looks very good on paper, the side. Interesting to see them in action.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of new additions. Mohammed Mohsin comes to the team. Paired him with Sarbjit Ladda. You had Obis Panar to that middle order. So a lot of really interesting pieces being added to that. You already had Jaskar Malhotra and the young Aryan Batra as well. So a very stacked roster.
Once again able to time the ball better off the back foot. We hadn't seen this, and this one had enough legs to cross the fence. A spanking pull shot up the back foot. Another boundary for Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, as this wicket has changed, you can see it. The ball is coming off the wicket much nicer than it has in days previous. And now, too short is a real thing. And maybe it is a change in plans here for Rajanan. Maybe he needs to get a little bit fuller. See how this wicket reacts to that.
He did get fuller, but this one has beaten everyone. It won't go to the fence though. Just a single. Not much damage done, but yep, Rajanan read the conditions. And now that 52 is really looking very, very thin. 2 overs done. They fired 25 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Skipper into the attack. Still enough grip off the wicket when you're prepared to put some action on it.
Yeah, Christopher Barnwell into the attack. That's where Trevin Griffith has gone with the ball in hand, and he bowled really well yesterday from this very end. And so I'm just looking to see how he reacts to the surface changing. It's gotten better to bat on, it looks, but that first delivery jumps up on Rajdeep Darbar, so maybe he's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve.
Imagine if that delivery was the first ball of the innings bowled from this end. I'll come back to it. A dab down and a quick running. No. I think Palmer slipped at the striker's end. Yeah, it was. Imagine if they had 53 on the board and Barnwell comes in and delivers that first delivery like he did in this over. That will put the batters in a completely different mindset, and 53 won't look as thin as it is looking now, almost halfway through with that experiment of John Campbell.
Yeah, it's an experiment indeed. He's bowled before minor league cricket, and he's bowled well, but it's just always an experiment because of the fact that he's not a consistent player. He's given an over here or there and does have the capability of being good, but just didn't come off today, and that's a gamble Trevin Griffiths was willing to work with. I'm not sure that was the correct decision just because you have so much experience in these two.
Straying down the leg side. Another extra.
But you don't mind the idea from Barnwell there, looking to angle it in, looking to slow it down and see if Palmer is willing to gift him one. And again, I think that when you can see Barnwell and what he's doing, he would have played against Paul Palmer pretty consistently when they were both up there in the East. Palmer part of the New Jersey Stallions, Barnwell with the Empire State Titans.
Nice thump down the ground for another single. In control at the moment, Atlanta Fire, thanks to that start from Henchard Hamilton. But looking ahead to this group, Aman, we've seen 3 teams now. We're going to see the Royals in a short while. Having looked at the rosters with all your research and digging that you and Nate do, what do you make of the group? Who are your favorites to progress? As we watch this, another sliced away. Once again, flew off the face of the bat into the gap. It's a big boundary though. Enough time for the fielder to come around and save the boundary. 2 more to the total.
Yeah, I think the group's very strong this year. I don't know if there's many weak links, and I think, to me, maybe biased or not, I do think that the 4 teams that will really be in the hunt are going to be the 2 Atlanta sides, Morrisville and Baltimore. And I reckon Baltimore, just on paper with what they've done, looks really, really good. And I think they could be a notch ahead of it and make their first playoff appearance.
Swing and a miss. Always interesting to see. They've got good names on the paper, how quickly they gel as a team. And we'll have that opportunity a little bit later.
And again, I didn't mention the Florida teams, but that Orlando team brings back Dunay Nathaniel, still Dimitri Adams in town. And so if they can click, Sumit Rawat was really a sensation for a lot of the Lions with.
Sliced away this time to the right of the sweeper and the covers. This time the effort wasn't good enough. The timing and placement was superb.
Yeah, we talk about all these new additions. Rajdeep Darbar, he's one of them for the Atlanta Fire. And he mentioned times it to perfection. Picked the slower one that time, waited on it, got the length he was looking for, and able to push it away from Aditya Badala, one of the quicker Raptors fielders, to close out the third over. It's 34 for 1. Well, the Raptors are searching for answers now. Put under real fire. Currently, it's Keon Joseph they're giving the ball to. Didn't have the greatest of days yesterday. I thought erred with his line and his length. But if he can put together something now for the Morrisville Raptors, it'll be what's required and really keep his name amongst the names you're going to look at in this 11.
Yeah, the equation is very simple though. Just 21 in 5 overs.
Slower balls in the air for a moment, but it's pushed past the offside. And again, this is now smart from these two batters. Don't need to play any really expansive strokes. Push it in your gap, get your 1, get your 2. And really all the damage you felt was done by Hansard Hamilton early. And again, we're going to keep circling back to it. That John Campbell over, the decision to give him the new ball didn't seem to pay out.
And also, if we had the luxury to check the pitch map, that this will be probably the most amount of runs scored off the back foot this weekend already. So that's a clear advantage. Definitely winning the toss was a huge bonus for Atlanta Fire.
100%. And Keon Joseph hasn't taken a wicket so far this season. He went for 33 runs yesterday in his 4 overs. And again, I think got better as the day got on, but didn't quite find the right lengths. And that, who knows, maybe on this surface now, this seems to be more traditional. His normal bowling style might just play off here, but the batters are in no rush, it seems. They take their time. They're two very experienced campaigners. When you add experience and you add not a lot of pressure, it's just trouble for an opposition. Slower bouncer, that a little bit wide of the batter, and you know what? You take that if you're Keon Joseph.
We heard the big grunt. I don't know if it was just a bluff or it just didn't get off of the pitch, but the line was not right. That's what he was penalized for. Very hard to judge Joseph on this performance today, because if you look at the equation, the way the match has gone so far, but still, a couple of overs in the middle could do him a world of good for the rest of the weekend. Find him that rhythm.
That's bowled well. And like you said, that rhythm is always so important. Yes, you might lose a game, but the Raptors have another one here this weekend. They'll play 3. This is the second of it. And so if they can just get the right guys into rhythm, Keon Joseph is going to be a key factor. If they can find any of their batters to gain some rhythm, it'll really be helpful for them. Like we said, 8-game season, losing 1 or 2 early could really cost your chances of the playoffs.
Exactly. There's very little margin for error for teams in this season, especially.
Looking to be innovative and slide appeal for LBW. No runs there, but good overbuilding so far. Just the 1 run off the first 4 deliveries.
Yeah, that was a funky little dink. Fine leg was up in the ring. But like Aman said at the beginning of the over, the way Palmer was playing, Darbar, does he really need to be that adventurous with this equation?
Yeah, I don't think he needs to. I understand the fine leg is inside the ring, and if you get any bat on it, it's going to go for at least 4. But again, with this situation, as you mentioned, just 20 runs needed, required run rate under 5. Just play 1, play 2. Ease your way to victory. Goes down the ground, cries of catch it. Past him. Hit well enough from Rajdeep Darbar, and it goes all the way for 6. And, well, he might not be able to do it innovatively, but he's going to do the traditional thing and go down the ground.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just feel the ball in the middle of the bat. And that did come off the middle of the bat. Just a mere flick of the wrist. Really not much of a flourish, but Barnwell had absolutely no chance. This is wonderful batting from Darbar. He'll feel much better about himself after this blow. And the target is just within sight now.
Yeah, and you mentioned the rhythm aspect of the game. For Rajdeep Darbar and the Atlanta Fire, it's a key thing for their opening batters to get into such rhythm. This time looks to go through fine leg, tries to go. Sanjay Stanley fumbles, and there was no one over at the bowler's end, but I just saw long off, maybe trying to come in to maybe back up a throw there. Could have been interesting, but a good over for the Atlanta Fire once again. 4 overs gone, 42 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
It's Aditya Badala who's got the ball in hand. He played hero with the bat yesterday for the Morrisville Raptors, but now with the ball is going to have to do something exceptional. Faisal, you mentioned something in the break. Let's tell our audience why it's 13 needed when the Raptors only scored 52.
Yeah, because the innings, the break came when the innings had started, so that final total of 52 had to be adjusted according to the Duckworth-Lewis method. So now 54 was deemed to be the score for the Raptors, and 55 required to win. 3 runs been added to what actually the Raptors scored.
And Badala will start over the wicket, and those 3 runs, we'll see if it proves to be the difference in the game. But you know, for Aditya Badala here, it's wickets or bust, it feels almost at this point. You got to build that pressure, and yeah, there is, you know, just under 4 overs now to go. There's not a lot of chances to build pressure. It's going to have to be 9 wickets from here. Hit into the leg side. Fielder comes around and we'll cut it to just 1. But again, all that's needed for the Atlanta Fire is this. But if you're the Royals or the Lightning watching this game right now, you're seeing how these Fire batters are batting. They're able to play their strokes, go through the shots they want to, and promising signs for the next game.
I'm pretty sure after this match, like the sun has beaten down, the roller will be up again, so it will make the pitch. Any moisture that's underneath will come up, and by the time we start, it would have evaporated because it's very, very hot here. We may see better batting conditions in the next game.
Badala was bowling very, very well so far. He's just been close to stumps. It's just the wicket isn't playing as many tricks, and you know, I think for a side like the Lightning, they'll get a real look at what they can do with the bat in hand. You know, you look at yesterday's game, and Mark Parchment wasn't able to be his free-flowing, expressive self. Aaron Gentry was really the pick of the batters, but now you give them an opportunity to bat on real wickets. This one is slashed into the offside and hit brilliantly. Just giving a little bit of width, puts it in the gap, picks up 4 more, and now just 8 required.
Well, that was a terrific strike. Once again, more evidence of the ball coming on to the bat a bit better. It wasn't a half volley. It on the up, just a sliced angle of the bat to get that ball away from the sweeper. And talking about the next game or the scores that we can expect in the next game.
Well stopped by Trevin Griffith there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, we're not talking about 180 or 200, but certainly 150, 160 would be just about par here, the way the conditions have improved gradually.
You know what, those are sometimes the best kind of cricket games. Everything's in the equation there. A little dab, and it'll get past point, and it'll run towards the rope, and might just hold up in the outfield. Yeah, it will just stop right before. They'll pick up a couple of runs to end the 5th over. It's 49 for 1.
Talking about the next game and what we can expect, have to keep an eye on this too, Aman.
Yeah, some clouds building. They're not quite as dark as maybe we've seen yesterday, but There is that expected shower around 4. It's a 40% chance, but I was talking to Rishi Pandey, actually, the youngster from the Atlanta Fire. He said in Georgia, 40 can mean 0, and 40 can mean 100. So it really could go either way. Boldham, Rajdanan, he's thrown a little twist in the tail here. He said, okay, if I can't go short, then I'll go to my normal length, and he's bowled that brilliantly, and it's just spun square on Rajdeep Darbar.
Terrific delivery. Still enough help for the bowlers. We've been praising about how the conditions have improved, but it's still something for the bowlers if you're prepared to put the work on the ball, and Rajnaran has done that. Darbar, a handy little outing in the first game, gone for 21. Atlanta Fire, 49 for 2.
New battery.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Morrisville Raptors, and now I'm not want to get too ahead of myself here, Faisal, but if you get a couple of wickets in this over, it could maybe just put a little bit of pressure. I know 6 runs, but wickets are still wickets.
I mean, also personal pride for the batters as well. Whoever's walking in with 6 to go, not a lot to gain and everything to lose. So that could be a dent. You're absolutely right. You can dent their confidence for future games. A low score is a low score. It does have its impact on the batters. Slip in place.
No run on offer there, and Rajanan's now figured out the length he wants to bowl on the surface, and again, for future matches, I think this is a very good length, and now he can mix it between slowing it down, giving it a little more flight, and then darting it in like he did that previous delivery. Get off the mark there, she is Azad.
In no hurry whatsoever, Atlanta Fire brings up their 50. 5 to win now in 2.5 overs. They've really controlled this run chase.
Yeah, they have, and it's been from ball 1. It's the 2 4s to start the game that I think just really took the Raptors out of it. Yes, you get the wicket at the end of it, but you've given up a couple of boundaries to that point. Andrew Hamilton made batting look easy, and again, the Raptors unable to find their way, but Rajanan, he's not giving up, and I like to see this. This is a character from a team. I think when, yes, it's a low score, you can still see the fielders very alert. Rajanan, he's looking to bowl his best deliveries. Tells you a lot about a side.
Yeah, and also, like I said, personal pride for the batters, personal pride for the bowlers as well.
Sweeps, big shout, and given. Paul Palmer saying it might have been a little high, but the umpire, clear as day, he wanted it out. And Rajanan, he strikes again, so here we go. We got 1 ball left in the over, and we've taken 2 wickets already, has Rajanan.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted, Aman. Nice delivery once again, darted it in, hit him probably around his ribs as he was down on one knee. That's what he gestured to the umpire, but nothing doing because the finger went up, and the walk for Paul Palmer as he departs for 10. Atlanta Fire 50 for 3.
Well, Cornet Dries already made a name for himself today with a tremendous boundary catch, and now he's got 5 runs to see off, but 1 ball left from Rajanan's spell. He's taken 2 in his second over. If he can take a third, we mentioned his batting lineup missing some key components, i.e. Stephen Taylor. you can just start to creep into maybe a thinner batting lineup than what the Fire have experienced in the past. And that pressure, again, with just 5 runs, could start to build.
Yeah, that tells you something about Aman Patel. The optimistic Aman Patel.
Grip, turn, and bounce. A great over there from Rajanan. 6 overs gone as 50 for 3. Conversations being had by everyone. The Atlanta Fire batters, they congregate together to decide what they want to do, and the Raptors, they had a conversation about who they wanted to give the ball. Keon Joseph and Barnwell were both there, both part of that huddle, and they've elected to go Adi Gupta. An interesting decision here to bring in the leg spinner for his first over here in the 7th, and I think that means Barnwell's going to bowl the last if I had to bet. But Adi Gupta now, a lot of pressure on the young man. I think what Trevin Griffith is hoping for is the aggressive nature of these 2 bats to maybe swing through the line and gift away a wicket and start to creep into a batting order.
Well, the start of the over will be crucial. First couple of deliveries. Will you be able to land them in the right areas and build some pressure? Although 5 of 12, generally you wouldn't think it's a problem, but cricket is a funny game. Kone dry batting at 5 shows how thin Atlanta Fire's batting lineup is.
That's what he wants. That's what Trevin Griffith is looking for. He wants Shahzad to play those strokes. He wants him to throw his wicket away. There's a slip in place. 3rd man inside the ring. Only fielder on the deep on the offside is a long off. So he's daring Zia to go into out. And yeah, he sends mid-wicket back as well. It's a good decision, I think. Also asking him to turn his wrist into the onside.
Play against the spin, but is it good to tempt him to just play with soft hands, or just let him hit big?
Looking to hit big, straight to Trevin Griffith. It was a full toss, but got away with it because of the line of that delivery. And Faisal, we just spoke this game into existence. Hit straight, could be a catch, should be a catch. Puts it down. That was regulation, you'd have to say. Should have really taken it, and that goes down, and this game could end on that note.
Yeah, 2 good deliveries, and then the chance. Sanjay Stanley just couldn't grab hold of that. That would have left us 5 needing of 9 deliveries with a new man in. But not to be. Small margins or what? Yeah, this was regulation. The standard of fielding that we've seen in the catching.
Innovative. That's really smart from Cornet Dry. No one in the ring behind square. Wanted 2, confusion, but again, you get the single. Cornet Dry added this to his game. Adi Gupta find a length here to bowl. Doesn't need to be that full. That's far too easy. And again, making this pressure look easy. 3 runs needed now.
Yeah, good call from Zia Shahzad, because the throw was flat and hard right next to the stumps. Cornet wouldn't have made it.
Looking to run it behind point, misses it altogether. It's a good over from Adi Gupta and could have really had that wicket and would have changed the complexion of it. Can he find it on his last delivery? Straight up, someone should get under it. Fine leg has been put into place and takes it. Shahzad, he survived earlier in the over. They take the wicket now. Is it too little too late? But they're giving themselves a chance, the Morrisville Raptors.
Well, they've taken the game into the last over. Zia Shahzad, the frustration grew through the over, and it culminated with that slog sweep and his dismissal. Well, 3 of the last over as Fires just feeling the pressure a little bit. 52 for 4 now.
Ridwan Palash, who's come in to bat. He'll be at the non-strikers end to start things off as Cornet dry. He's got the bat in hand. I believe it's Christopher Barnwell who's got the ball. 3 runs needed. Could be 1. They could push for 2. They will. Oh, fumble, and they'll get it. Scores are level. That's good, aggressive running. And really just maybe a little sloppy in the field from the Morrisville Raptors.
Look at the game in the last 2 overs. The margins are so tight. I mean, who would have thought that Raptors can defend 5 in the last 2 overs? But for those 2 little errors, I mean, if they had been tidy, probably this game would have gone even deeper. With the scores level now, just 1 needed in the final over. Cornet Dry's calm head has really helped Fire here.
What does Barnwell have for Cornet Dry? Field is all in. Bowled him. It stayed very, very low. Cornet Dry was looking to on the back foot, just looking to really guide it into the onside, but it stayed incredibly low. He's on a knee because he can't quite believe it. And even on a wicket that's looked better and better throughout the day, 1 ball has stayed low and has costed the Fire in Cornet Dry.
Pressure can do funny things to you. All the field was brought up. Just 1 needed and Cornet Dry stayed on that back foot. He's a tall man. That went under his bat. And, well, Raptors still in the game. With just 1 needed, but 4 deliveries and a new man in. Christopher Barnwell's experience is the key right here.
Well, oh well, as captain who's come in, Amila Aponzo, he's promoted up the order a long ways from where he would be in seasons past, but he's got 4 deliveries to get 1 run. What does he have in store? Bat on ball, call of yes, no run taken, no run there, and the margins are so fine. There are 3 balls left.
What if for those 2 mistakes in the last 2 overs in the field for Raptors? But I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I mean, 5 of 12 deliveries with so many wickets in the shed. It has come down to the last 3 deliveries. Aponso, known for his big hits.
Slashed and away from the fielder. Won't need to worry about a super over or not. It'll be 4 runs. It's an edgy victory. Nervy indeed, but Emil Aponzo, the captain, gets it away, and a good win to open their season for the Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, good win, although they almost made a meal of it in the last 3 overs. They got off to that good start. Once again, we'll go back to that first over from John Campbell, which went for 17. Really given the head start to Atlanta Fire, who actually needed that, the way things panned out through the 8 overs. But Emilio Aponso, the skipper, the telling blow, seals the victory for Atlanta Fire. No victory, no narrow escape for the Raptors like yesterday. They will go back to the drawing board and come back for the 3rd game of the weekend later on. But Atlanta Fire, like Aman said, will be very happy that they got their account opened in this year's minor league championship.
Wins are wins, and the Fire, they get their first of the season. But you guys don't go anywhere. We've got plenty of action coming to you all weekend long. And today, I think we're in store for a quick turnaround. The Baltimore Royals will take on the Atlanta Lightning, both of whom looking for their first win of the season. Don't go anywhere. Join us right back here in the Buttonveer Sports Complex. For myself, for Faisal Shan, for our brilliant crew. We'll see you in just a little bit.